Not least of all because the monarchy is about continuity. But I think for my brother, this is something he's been waiting for. And he's probably spent more time thinking about it. I think my mother did exactly the right thing. I think it's absolutely extraordinary.
Two extraordinary women, born 3 years apart. One, a commoner, destined against all odds to become queen. The other was, for 7 years, second in line to the throne. It's the ultimate tale of the unstoppable force meeting the...
Many people have followed King Charles and Queen Camilla's royal journey, but few expected a twist like this. Reports claim King Charles has made a surprising decision by giving Princess Anne greater oversight of Camilla's royal spending. The move has left royal watchers asking what is really going on behind palace doors. Why would Charles hand his sister such a sensitive responsibility? And what could it mean for Queen Camilla and the future of the monarchy? Do you think Charles made the right call, or should Camilla remain fully in control of her royal spending? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe for more royal updates. For years, Queen Camilla has carried out official duties beside King Charles. She attends major events, supports charities, and represents the monarchy in Britain and overseas. Like other senior royals, her work involves expenses for travel, staff, clothing, transportation, and public engagements. These financial matters are normally handled quietly, far away from public attention. That is why the latest claims have caused such a stir. According to reports, Charles has asked Princess Anne to take a closer look at Camilla's official spending. If true, the decision could give Anne a stronger role in reviewing how certain royal funds are used. It has also triggered questions about whether this is a routine financial shakeup or a sign of deeper concern inside the palace. Anne is not known for chasing headlines or getting mixed up in unnecessary drama. She has built her reputation through hard work, discipline, and a no-nonsense attitude. While other royals often attract attention for their private lives, Anne usually keeps her head down and handles business. The palace has not officially confirmed the reported arrangement. Still, royal experts and members of the public are already debating what it could mean. Some believe Charles simply wants the monarchy to become more careful, efficient, and accountable. Since becoming king, Charles has pushed the idea of a smaller royal family. He reportedly wants fewer unnecessary expenses and clearer responsibilities, especially while many British families are struggling with high living costs. Other people see the move as proof of how much Charles trusts his sister. Anne has spent decades completing a demanding schedule of royal engagements without seeking constant praise. Her strong work ethic makes her an obvious choice for a job involving careful financial review. However, the reports have also raised uncomfortable questions about Camilla. Does Charles have concerns about her household spending? Has something happened behind the scenes? Or is this simply part of a wider palace reform? Without an official explanation, speculation is running wild. Supporters of Camilla warn that people may be reading too much into an unconfirmed story. They argue that changes in responsibility do not automatically mean there is tension, distrust, or a royal feud. Palace operations are complicated, and several people may review the same budgets. Adding another layer of oversight could simply be a practical move rather than a personal attack on the Queen. Charles and Anne have shared royal responsibilities for decades. Anne is often described as one of the king's most dependable advisors, someone willing to speak honestly, even when the truth may be difficult to hear. That history could explain why Charles would trust her with such a delicate assignment. Even so, the story has grabbed worldwide attention because it involves three of the monarchy's most powerful figures: the king, the queen, and the princess royal. Any change involving these three is bound to get people talking. So why might Charles have made this move? Could he be planning a larger financial shakeup inside the royal household? King Charles has spent the last few years trying to show that the monarchy can change with the times. Many of his decisions have reflected his goal of creating a smaller and more efficient institution. Reports that Anne has been given greater oversight of Camilla's spending would fit that long-term plan. Although the claims remain unconfirmed, such an arrangement could help Charles prove that royal finances are being taken seriously. One major factor is the financial pressure surrounding the monarchy. The royal household receives public funding through the sovereign grant, and official expenses are closely watched by the government, journalists, and taxpayers. At a time when ordinary people are watching every pound, expensive royal spending can quickly cause backlash. Travel, staffing, security, renovations, and property maintenance regularly become hot topics in the media. The king also has private wealth and income connected to royal estates, but that does not stop public debate. Whenever official duties involve large costs, people want to know where the money came from and whether it was spent responsibly. Over the years, expensive renovations, overseas trips, security bills, and household budgets have all made headlines. One questionable expense can quickly turn into a full-blown controversy across television, newspapers, and social media. Whether every criticism is fair or not, the palace understands the situation. Public trust depends partly on the royal family showing that it respects the money connected to its official work. Charles has long been known for paying close attention to finances. Before becoming king, he managed the Duchy of Cornwall, the estate that traditionally provides income for the Prince of Wales. During that period, he focused on keeping the estate financially strong while supporting environmental projects and local communities. That experience likely shaped how he now handles the monarchy's money and long-term future. Accountability is another important issue. Large organizations, including businesses, charities, and royal households, usually need trusted people to review spending. Strong financial checks can catch mistakes before they turn into embarrassing public scandals. Giving Anne a role in this process would not necessarily prove that Camilla did anything wrong. It could simply show that Charles wants a clearer system with more than one person checking major decisions. Anne's reputation makes her a strong candidate for the job. She has completed hundreds of public engagements, stayed away from unnecessary drama, and earned respect for her direct style. She is not someone who appears easily distracted or pressured. If Charles wants a reliable family member to ask hard questions, Anne makes sense. She understands royal duty, knows how palace offices operate, and is unlikely to sugarcoat a problem just to keep everyone comfortable. The king also knows that the behavior of one senior royal can affect the reputation of the entire family. If spending looks excessive or poorly managed, the damage does not stop with one household. It hits the crown itself. By strengthening financial oversight, Charles may be trying to protect the monarchy before any serious controversy develops. His goal may be about more than saving money. It could also be about showing the public that every expense is reviewed and justified. The reported move could send a powerful message inside the palace. No senior royal is above accountability. Position, title, and personal relationships should not prevent proper financial checks. Clear oversight can improve planning, reduce waste, and help staff make better choices. These are basic standards expected from any modern institution that depends on public confidence. The controversy has also created a tricky situation for Camilla. Even if she has done nothing wrong, having Anne review her spending may look like a loss of independence. Critics could present it as a sign that Charles no longer fully trusts her judgment. On the other hand, Camilla may welcome the extra support. Royal schedules and household budgets can involve complicated decisions, and having Anne assist with oversight could reduce pressure while protecting everyone from future criticism. The real meaning depends on details that have not been released. Is Anne checking every expense, reviewing only major budgets, or simply advising the king? Those are very different arrangements, yet the public still does not have clear answers. That silence has allowed the story to grow. When the palace does not explain a sensitive decision, rumors often fill the gap. Some people imagine a private disagreement, while others see a smart financial reform. Whatever the truth may be, Charles appears determined to present a monarchy that is careful, efficient, and ready for the future. Stronger oversight would match his wider effort to modernize the institution and reassure taxpayers. If Princess Anne really has been trusted with this responsibility, the decision also says a lot about her position in the family. She may not receive the same attention as Charles, Camilla, William, or Catherine, but behind the scenes, her influence could be much stronger than many people realize. Anne has spent most of her life proving that she can handle serious responsibilities. While other members of the royal family regularly dominate headlines, she has built her name in a quieter and more practical way. These qualities are why many people believe Princess Anne would be trusted with a serious responsibility inside the monarchy. For decades, she has been one of the busiest working royals, completing hundreds of engagements each year in Britain and overseas. Anne rarely chases attention. She focuses on getting the job done properly, earning respect from royal supporters, officials, and people who have followed the family for years. One of her biggest strengths is discipline. Anne takes every duty seriously, whether she is attending a major state ceremony or visiting a small community. People who have worked with her describe her as prepared, punctual, and highly demanding of herself. Despite being a senior royal, Anne has never appeared interested in showing off her wealth. She prefers practical choices and focuses more on duty than luxury. Anne has even worn the same outfits for years, showing that she does not believe good clothing should be replaced just to follow fashion. This sensible attitude has impressed people, especially while public spending faces heavy scrutiny. Her careful approach to money has also strengthened her reputation. Anne understands that royal finances are constantly watched, and she reportedly believes expenses should be reasonable and properly managed. Anne has shown lasting loyalty to the crown. Through public criticism, family disputes, and major changes within the monarchy, she has continued performing her duties without getting dragged into every controversy. Her decades of experience give her a deep understanding of how the palace operates behind closed doors. She has worked alongside different generations of the family and watched public expectations change. Anne is also respected for speaking clearly and directly. Her no-nonsense personality suggests she would ask difficult questions instead of approving something merely to keep powerful people comfortable. But was Camilla careless with royal finances, or is this reported change simply designed to strengthen palace money management? For years, Queen Camilla's spending has attracted attention from the public and media. As a senior royal, many of her official activities receive royal funding, so people naturally want to understand where the money goes. Camilla is not the only royal questioned about spending. However, because she performs official duties beside King Charles, her travel, staff, clothing, security, and public appearances are regularly discussed when financial reports are released. Newspapers, television programs, and online channels quickly examine the figures. The subject becomes especially sensitive when families across Britain are struggling with everyday costs. Part of the confusion comes from the complicated way royal finances operate. Some people assume every expense involving Charles and Camilla is paid directly by taxpayers, but the system is not that simple. Official duties, including state visits, public events, staffing, and the upkeep of working royal buildings, are largely supported by the sovereign grant. This funding is meant to support the monarchy's official work, not every part of a royal's private lifestyle. Personal expenses generally come from private income and estates. Still, the difference between official and personal costs can be difficult for the public to understand. When reports mention expensive travel, large receptions, or costly renovations, some people immediately see luxury. However, many of these bills are connected to official responsibilities or the maintenance of historic national properties. That explanation has not ended the criticism. People continue asking whether every expense is truly necessary, particularly during periods of financial hardship. Camilla has faced greater attention since becoming queen. Every overseas visit, public appearance, and major royal event is now watched closely. Reports often highlight the cost of clothing, transportation, security, and official engagements. Critics may describe those bills as excessive, while supporters argue that many are unavoidable costs of representing the crown. A state visit cannot be organized like a cheap weekend break, but the palace is still expected to explain the final bill. The argument is also connected to a wider debate about the monarchy's future. Supporters believe the royal family brings cultural, diplomatic, charitable, and economic value to Britain. Critics want spending reduced and explained more openly. Because opinions are so divided, almost every royal financial report becomes headline material. Camilla's expenses are usually discussed as part of this larger argument rather than being judged completely on their own. Could Princess Anne's reported oversight change royal budgeting and reshape how important decisions are made inside the palace? Anne has spent years building a reputation for being organized, careful, and focused. That is why reports claiming she has received greater oversight of Camilla's official spending have caused such a stir. Buckingham Palace has not confirmed the full details. It remains unclear whether Anne would approve individual expenses, review major budgets, or simply advise Charles when financial concerns arise. That distinction matters. Oversight does not automatically mean Camilla has been reckless, and it does not prove there is a personal feud between the two women. Still, financial control carries serious influence behind palace walls. If the arrangement exists, one likely change would be an additional review before certain expenses are approved. This could help catch questionable costs, prevent mistakes, and ensure major spending matches Charles's wider plans. It may not mean money was mishandled in the past. Charles could simply want stronger safeguards while the monarchy faces pressure to appear efficient and accountable. Having another experienced royal review expenses could reassure the public that palace spending receives serious attention. Anne's involvement might even protect Camilla from criticism by proving that financial decisions pass through a broader system. However, Anne would probably not be easy to pressure. Her direct personality suggests she would ask tough questions if a budget appeared excessive or poorly explained. She is unlikely to approve an expensive plan simply because it came from an influential palace office. Her reported involvement could also improve long-term planning. Royal tours, charity activities, public appearances, and large events require detailed budgets prepared far in advance. Each engagement may involve travel, staff, security, clothing, transportation, accommodation, and other costs. When several departments are involved, even a small mistake can become an expensive headache. An additional review could identify where money might be saved without weakening the quality of royal work. Anne's practical attitude could help staff separate necessary costs from choices designed mainly to look impressive. This could lead to fewer wasteful decisions and clearer explanations when financial figures become public. In a modern monarchy, appearances matter, but so do the receipts. The role might also give Anne greater influence over wider palace decisions. Money affects nearly every royal activity, from overseas tours to charity events. Anyone helping review these budgets could indirectly influence which projects move forward and how they are organized. That may be why the report has caused so much speculation. On paper, it sounds like a financial responsibility. Behind the scenes, however, it could place Anne closer to some of the monarchy's most sensitive decisions. For Camilla, the arrangement could feel uncomfortable even if she has done nothing wrong. Critics may claim Charles no longer trusts her judgment, while supporters could see Anne's involvement as extra support and protection. The truth may be less dramatic than the headlines suggest. Royal households are large organizations, and major expenses often pass through several officials before they are approved. Anne may simply add another experienced voice to the process. Still, the palace's silence leaves plenty of room for rumors and suspicion. Until officials explain whether the arrangement exists and what it involves, people will continue debating whether it represents routine reform or hidden tension. Anne's reputation makes the story believable to many royal watchers. She is disciplined, loyal, experienced, and careful with money. If Charles wanted someone to keep palace budgets under control, his sister would be an obvious choice. Her involvement could strengthen financial checks, improve planning, and help the monarchy answer demands for greater transparency. It could also send a clear message that no title places anyone above accountability. Whether the story reveals a hidden spending problem or a smart palace shakeup remains unconfirmed. But if Anne truly has a larger role, future royal expenses could face tougher questions before receiving the final green light. Another possible result is stronger teamwork among senior royals. Running the monarchy involves far more than public appearances. Palace teams must organize schedules, budgets, travel, events, and official duties. If Princess Anne has received a larger financial role, different offices may need to communicate more closely. Better communication could prevent mistakes and support King Charles's plan for a smaller, more efficient monarchy. Reducing unnecessary spending and improving accountability are important parts of that goal. However, extra oversight does not automatically prove there is conflict inside the palace. Large organizations regularly introduce new reviews when responsibilities change. The royal household could simply be updating its financial system. Public confidence also matters. The media closely examines money connected to royal duties, and even a small expense can become a major headline. Stronger checks could reassure people that palace finances are being handled responsibly. If major spending plans require detailed reviews, palace departments may need to explain why every expense is necessary. This could reduce waste, although it may also slow down certain decisions. So, how has Camilla reacted to the reported change? Will she accept it or push back behind closed doors? Reports claiming Charles gave Anne greater oversight of Camilla's spending have raised questions about the Queen's reaction. However, Buckingham Palace has not officially confirmed the arrangement, so the claims should be treated carefully. Some reports suggest Camilla has accepted the decision, even if it created private discomfort. She understands that every royal trip, engagement, and financial choice now faces intense public attention. Charles reportedly wants stronger checks to show that royal resources are being used wisely. Camilla may therefore see Anne's involvement as part of a wider reform rather than a personal attack. Still, the situation could feel uncomfortable. Camilla spent years building her position within the royal family after facing harsh public criticism. Through charity work, official appearances, and support for Charles, she gradually gained wider acceptance. After that long journey, it would be understandable if she felt uneasy about another senior royal reviewing expenses connected to her work. Yet there is no reliable evidence of an open argument between Camilla and Anne. Both women have continued performing their duties professionally. Their silence may show that, whatever is happening privately, they understand the importance of presenting a united front. Anne rarely responds to palace gossip and prefers to let her work speak for itself. Camilla has also learned to handle media pressure without answering every headline. Some reports even suggest Camilla respects Anne's honesty, experience, and careful approach to money. If Anne has received this responsibility, Camilla may recognize that the choice reflects Anne's reputation rather than distrust of the Queen. But could this financial shakeup still mark the beginning of a quiet power struggle? Princess Anne and Queen Camilla have very different personalities. Because of that, royal watchers have long wondered whether tension exists between them behind palace walls. Stories about a possible rivalry have repeatedly appeared in the media. No official source has confirmed a feud, but every interaction between the two women continues to receive close attention. Anne has spent her entire life as a working royal. As Queen Elizabeth II's only daughter, she is known for completing a demanding schedule without constantly chasing publicity. Many people see Anne as practical, disciplined, and careful with money. She is widely viewed as someone who puts duty before comfort and is willing to ask difficult questions. Camilla entered royal life through a very different path. Her relationship with Charles faced years of controversy, and public acceptance was difficult while memories of Princess Diana remained strong. Over time, Camilla improved her image by supporting charities, standing beside Charles, and carrying out official duties. As queen, she now holds one of the most senior positions in the monarchy. Although both women support Charles, their working styles are different. Anne is direct and focused on results, while Camilla is often seen as warmer and more relaxed during public appearances. These differences may encourage gossip, but they do not prove a personal rivalry. Claims of a power struggle often appear whenever one royal gains new responsibilities or greater influence. If Anne truly has received financial oversight, some commentators may present it as proof that Camilla is losing control. Others may see it as a practical decision based on Anne's experience. Financial oversight could give Anne real influence because money affects nearly every part of royal life. Tours, ceremonies, staffing, clothing, transportation, and charity events all depend on approved budgets. If Anne can question major expenses, she may indirectly influence which plans move forward. For Camilla, that could feel like a limit on her independence. Critics might claim Charles no longer trusts his wife's judgment. However, another layer of review could also protect Camilla. If an expense is challenged later, the palace could show that several experienced people examined it. Anne's reputation makes her a believable choice for the job. She is respected for her experience, practical habits, and willingness to ask uncomfortable questions. If Charles wanted someone to keep budgets under control, his sister would make sense. Her reported involvement could also improve coordination between palace offices. Staff may catch errors earlier, create clearer budgets, and avoid expensive surprises. Royal events require detailed planning. Travel, security, staff, accommodation, transportation, and ceremonial arrangements can quickly send costs climbing. An experienced reviewer could identify savings without harming the quality of official work. Stronger controls may also help the monarchy answer demands for greater transparency. During difficult economic times, the royal household cannot afford to appear careless with money connected to public duties. Still, speculation should not be treated as confirmed fact. Buckingham Palace has not explained whether Anne holds this role, how much authority she has, or whether Camilla's spending caused concern. The story could reveal a major palace shakeup or an ordinary management change dressed up as a royal battle. The modern monarchy ultimately depends on teamwork. Open competition between Anne and Camilla would damage Charles's attempt to present a stable and responsible royal family. So, what do you think? Is Princess Anne the right person to review royal spending, or has Camilla been unfairly pushed aside? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.